Okay, I wanted to show you really quickly something nice that we built recently. Now, one thing that a lot of our clients want to see is essentially where their money is spent. So they don't just want to pay an invoice at the end of the month. They actually want to see how that money has been spent and exactly where it went. This, again, frees up 30 hours of work per month. So 30 hours, let's say the average cost per hour is in client price is $70. So this is already $2,100 saved per month. Then if we multiply the 2,100 per 12, let's say we're saving around $25,000 per year.
So, what's this all about?
It's actually mostly for our internal use, but it's also something that we give access to our clients in our agency business. So in the agency business, I don't know if everyone knows this, but there's different ways of working with clients. And one of those ways is something that's more or less like a retainer. So a client pays us a retainer for a certain amount of time. And for that amount of time, we want to give them a specific scope of work. But sometimes this work is not that specifically scoped, but it's actually something that is being scoped in progress, in the process of working. So let's say every week or every 2 weeks or every month, we set a scope of what they want us to achieve. And then we start going ahead and achieving it. Now, one thing though that a lot of our clients want to see is essentially where their money is spent. So they don't just want to pay an invoice at the end of the month. They actually want to see how that money has been spent and exactly where it went. So in order to achieve that, there's a few different parts to the system that we use. First of all, it's our task management system. This is where we log all of our tasks and everything else that we need to do. We have task per project. Every task obviously has an assignee, but it also has something which is important, which is an estimate. It's an estimate of time. So whenever we create the tasks, whoever is creating the task gives an estimate as to how long it's going to take. And it's tied to the person that's actually doing the task. So our task management system is in Notion. I know it's not the most popular thing in the world, but it's one of the easiest things to use if you're working with multiple clients and on multiple projects. A lot of the other stuff out there we've tried many times, but it actually isn't really suited for multi-project, multi-client work because we want to have a central place where every developer can see everything that they do. And we also want to be able to show that to the client as well. So that's part one. The next thing that happens is whenever a developer or any other team member works on a task, they track their time. This is done in a time tracking software. There are many out there. The one that we use is called Timely. We use it because it has a feature called memory where it stores locally on the device what windows you have open, what browser tabs you have open. And if you forget to log your hours, which a lot of the people on the team do, you can always go back and see like the memory and figure out exactly what you were working on at this time. So far, so good. Whenever someone logs an entry in Timely, they have to take the Notion task ID and write it in the Timely entry. And this is actually pretty important. This is the one thing that we haven't automated yet. One of the things that we haven't automated yet. But so far, it's proven to be relatively easy for anyone working on a task. They just copy the task ID, and whenever they log their time in Timely, just they add it in there. Okay. And this was done for a very specific purpose because at the end of the month, and for some clients, we also do it several times a month, we create a report. And this report includes whatever we were working on during that month. And in order to know exactly, we rely on the system where people track their time in Timely. They take their task ID on the task that they worked. And yeah, that's how the magic happens. Then in the report, we basically summarize the report based on those Notion task IDs. We attach an initiative to them so that we know what initiative each task went to. And yeah, that's how we create the report. So far, or before we had this system, our reports were obviously done in Excel. What's important for this video is the fact that this all sounds great, but there's actually no easy way to connect these three systems, Timely, Notion, and Excel or Google Sheets. What we used to do is we used to manually export the entries from Timely, import them into the reporting system, then sort of manually try to take the task IDs from Notion and do the reporting this way. This used to take us, and I'm not even kidding, for right now, we're working on, let's say, 4 or 5 projects at the same time. This used to take us around 30 hours per month. So 30 hours per month we will spend on creating these reports and reporting to the client. The other problem was that this usually would take not like 30 hours straight. It will be scattered throughout a week or so. So every month we would actually issue the invoices for the previous month around 10 days after the month has started, even though we tried a lot of things in order to make it faster, and we did end up making it a little bit faster, but it was still pretty slow. So by the time we issue the invoices and the clients pay us, we've already passed half of the month after the work has been done. Yeah, not a big thing, but still inconvenient. We tried many things before. So we tried doing some kind of backend bot, which would ingest the events from Timely and then try to update the actual hours spent in the Notion tasks and take this into consideration when we're doing the reporting. But this was all prone to so many errors and it just didn't work. So what ended up working though was a custom system that we built ourselves called IRS, and no pun intended here. It's called Internal Reporting System. So yeah, we could also call it NRS, the ninefold reporting system. But so yeah, basically it's a web application. It's built on something called Replit. I don't know if you guys know what Replit is, but it's a platform that allows anyone to build web apps with AI assisted code generation. It also has deployment, backend, database, all the bells and whistles. So what ends up happening is the system listens for new events or event updates in Timely, then ingests those events, records the events, then starts to make communication with the Notion database of our tasks, figures out what task this is, what initiative it's for. If there's already logged time to that task, it would just add the additional time that was just logged to the same task. If someone actually deletes an entry from Timely, this also reduces the amount of hours that we have in the Notion database system, which shows how much the total hours for that task are. So we have an up-to-date information here the whole time. And the most beautiful part is that for the reporting, we were able to completely eliminate working with spreadsheets. And right now, full reporting is done with custom reports. And these custom reports are done specifically for the purposes of what our clients need. The project, the client, everything else is attached automatically. All the calculations about the project are also done automatically. So this part here already saved us most of those 30 hours of work. The last bit, which we're now actually testing, is there's of course some tasks that get logged in the time tracking system, which don't have a specific task assigned to them. For example, meeting with client or preparing for a meeting or preparing a report or something like that. Sometimes we don't have a task in the system for those entries. We have AI categorization system in place, which means that we receive the time tracking entry from Timely. We do the lookup in the task management database. And if there's no corresponding task in the task management system, we use historical data to categorize this entry and assign it the proper initiative. So this means that the last part, which was, I guess, around probably 5-6 hours of work per month, is now also automated. Now, this still requires some manual work and some manual oversight, but essentially, right now, our time tracking, task management, and reporting is almost completely automated. This, again, frees up 30 hours of work per month. So 30 hours, let's say the average cost per hour is in client price is $70. So this is already $2,100 saved per month. Then if we multiply the 2,100 per 12, let's say we're saving around $25,000 per year. Okay. Now, 25,000 per year is a lot of money for a small company like ours. And the beautiful part of that equation is the fact that we've only spent so far probably around 100 hours on actually building the system. This 100 hours with these $70 that we mentioned is about 7,000, which is, let's say, the cost of the project for us. This basically means that this thing has already paid for itself beginning of the fourth month of us using this system. The other benefit, which is, I think, also pretty huge, is the benefit to our customer, because what used to happen is they would wait for the invoice and then they will get their custom report. But this, what this meant was that this custom report usually, again, took like 10 days to arrive, and it was in PDF or an Excel file. And if they wanted to do some custom, I don't know, some custom reporting to it, they would have to do it manually. Right now, we have a client view in the custom report system. Each of our clients has their own login into the system, and they can log in and see the reporting basically in real time. So they don't have to wait till the end of the month to see the report. They can see in basically real time where the budget that they've allocated to the project is being spent. These budgets, some of them are not small, so it's obviously important for the client to know where their budget is being spent, and they can keep a track of what's going on without having to rely on us creating a custom report for them before the end of the month. So I think this just makes life easier for us, for them, and it's just a very powerful thing that we were able to do with very minimal effort. It's just proof that this new way of building software is very powerful. If we had to do it in the old way, which is not using an AI first approach, the same thing would have probably taken closer to 500 hours, I would say, or maybe even 600 hours. And this was also another thing which is very important here, that this was all done by a single developer. And previously, this would have taken a couple of developers. So we have a back end of the system, we have the front end of the system, we have design. Someone would have to manage their tasks, so they would need also a PM. They would also need a. So it's a lot of things that would have gone into this project, and it would have easily surpassed the 500-hour mark. And 500 hours with this hourly rate is obviously going to make this a lot harder to digest and a lot harder to make sense of as a cost to a small business. So yeah, just wanted to share this little insight into some of the stuff that we're building internally using our AI first approach. If anyone's interested in anything like that for yourself or as a customer facing project, feel free to reach out. And yeah, cheers. See you the next one.